Like, you mean like choking-wise? You mean just how I felt?
Psychologically, physiologically, where you just were unable to get in the zone. Maybe you felt anxiety. Maybe you couldn't concentrate.
I would say, well, this is an 8-Rex, by the way, so a little bit of a rush. But
I thought we were going to have something much more
in
macro.
retrospect, I can look at it because I wasn't as cognizant of my own brain back when I played in that kind of professional-ish
It's hard to be
scene.
in your young 20s, actually. It's kind of crazy what happens. Like, now that we're in our 30s, I feel so much more aware of my own thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. And nowadays, I can really spot it very easily. Like, I can tell when my heart rate is rising and stuff. Like, it did at Corrupted Cup, which was kind of interesting. And
you had your heart rate increase? Did it kind of
cloud
your thoughts?
It was funny because I had to play poorly to finish out my game against Lancer X because I was too shaking. I was shaking too heavily.
Too much adrenaline?
From too much adrenaline,
Wow.
that's right. But I guess I was really off my game. In the 2005, you know that video that has myself, you, and Day9?
Right.
That's the worst I ever played compared to my actual skill level anywhere.
But you were also the feature of that documentary. Me and Day9 were sort of in the background. Yeah, although we were in the documentary, we weren't the focus of it.
Yeah, definitely.
That must have distracted you, right?
There was a lot of pressure from that, but it was more pressure from myself. Because I knew I should be making it to Singapore that year. But anyways.
I think the worst I ever played was when I had to cast and play in Las Vegas when I started becoming a caster, and I had to rehearse early on in the morning and then try to play my games. And that's when I died to LZ Gamer, which is totally not in the element, totally anxious, not focused. I died to LZ Gamer and you, actually. But yeah, I just couldn't pull it together. It is interesting to see what kind of factor or how that factors out in an important game, though, psychology. And I think we're seeing that from our Zerg player here now. Now, in this game, Terran went for a quick barracks on the low ground, but Zerg went for a quick pool and gas into another hatchery.
Yeah, and Sari's not stopping there. He actually just added a second barracks. So it seems like it'll be one base play that he's trying to make look like it's two base play.
Yeah. And,
unless that's a command center that's on the high ground, which wouldn't make any sense.
No, I think you're right. I think it's a second barracks, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, based on these spawn positions, that it's kind of smart and makes sense. Because the Overlord can't really get over to the location to see if you have a command. So anyways, he's pressuring right now. He's trying to force lings out of his opponent or anything like that he can.
Okay, so if he can cover this SCV...
Ooh!
Okay, now notice how he's targeting each individual ling. This is very important. Oh my god! He gets 2 in.
Wow. Well, even getting those 2 in is amazing. Look how many lings he's forced. He killed that drone there. This is so successful. And now he's doing just a 1 base, 2 barracks play.
Yeah.
Which against this is amazing, again.
Now, if he can just target down the weaker ling and just micro these Marines right, I think we're getting closer to closer here. Sari just is playing such a great game here. Oh my god, a third one gets in, and that means...
I think theoretically he can save the hatchery here.
Yeah, well, I mean...
But this situation is so good for Sari and so terrible for SOMA.
Yeah. Well, he's even got a wall in, so you can't counter with speedlings. And he's actually going to set this up so that he doesn't expand. Instead, it's going to be where he wants to do follow-up pressure.
Yeah, and look at this. The wall is far enough forward, and he's got all those Marines up there. It's going to be really hard to identify that this is just, a 2-base build.
Yeah.
Or a 1-base build, rather, sorry. The Marine count is fishy, though. I think you might be able to kind of get an inkling of what's going on from that Marine count, because that is a lot of Marines to have after already having spent, like, 7 Marines or 8 Marines.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's very important, too, Zerg didn't get the second gas up. You were going for 2 hatch to play. It's hard to keep getting more and more and more mutas coming out on 1 gas.
Yeah. He'll be able to get that first 6 relatively easily, but
after
you're already going to have stim, you're already going to have medics out. Going to have to keep the pressure on. See, he's hiding the medics right now. He's going to want to move out immediately and go right across. I think he's going to kill him with this.
This push here, I think you're right.
All right, Soma, let's see what you got.
Now remember that the muta control was not great. Oh my god, he's got 2 fire bats. He's so good. So good. Here comes that second gas now. Now, you know, a Ling Muta Surround can make this work. One stray Marine. I don't think Stim's done just yet.
Yeah, should be finishing any time. He's sending out the rest of his units now as a reinforcement.
Does he want to back up and try to catch these Lings and regroup? No, he wants to instead try to dive in here.
Now, don't forget, he doesn't have range, just Stim right now.
Right, and so
a little bit
good angle for the Mutas can do a lot of damage.
He's trying to buy a little bit of time to get the rest of his units up, but Soma actually jumping upon this.
Yeah.
Wow, very well done. Very well done.
Now it's just these 3 Marines. Now these 2 Firebats are going to come in here and try to get as many drone kills as possible.
Yeah, he's splitting them up, but look at that. The drones run from the natural while the Mutas chase the Firebat into the main.
Good catch.
This was a perfect defense. That's the Soma I came to see today.
I was hoping Sari was actually going to back up when he got close to the natural and regroup. I think that would have been the best play. You know the Mutas, you know where they are.
Yeah.
You know they're on the right. You can just get close enough, because now I think Soma's got a real shot in this game.
Oh, I think he's won the game. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, look at this. He's actually trying to be a sneaky snake. That's actually something he does with his one base play. That's how he ended up killing Eon Zerg, was running around with some extra and counterattacking when the Mutas hit his base. But this is like, what are you doing here?
I thought Terran was going to win this, but yeah, Sari just didn't. Oh, look at that. He's going to get a Queen's Nest here. He's just going to go for Greater Spire and just put him above the high ground. And
yeah, why not?
How funny.
I feel like he can do just about anything, but that would be a perfect play there, right? You're not going to... Unless he were to just randomly go into range Goliaths from here, there would be no real counter. You're just never going to have enough irradiates. And you generally go irradiate when you're on one base.
Okay, so the Mutas continuing to take swipes here and there. Yeah, I'm glad to see that the Zerg is probably going to come back and win this game. I just don't... I still do worry for our Zerg, though, in a more normal game, right? This is sort of the Terran overextending. You get one good engage, and this is why we don't see one base play very often.
Yeah.
From the Terran side of things, is that it's very unforgiving. You know, usually all defenses for basic one base play are mapped out on all sides.
Pretty much. It's just really hard to do much after you lose a few units because your production is so low. There's not that many variables going on. Still trying to hold here. Loses his barracks, so you can see the type of damage that's going down. I mean, eventually he'll even kill the turret via glaive bounces.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about glaives is that, you know, it's easy to forget that they have the glaives, but, all right, GG.